Hey, if you're looking to start a new bar and you've been asked by potential investors or maybe the bank has asked you to put together a set of financial projections, and you're kind of in this stage of deer in the headlight moment where you don't know how to create a set of projections and you could use some help, you've come to the right place because we have put together a financial projection template built specifically for bars or restaurant and bar type business models. And so what I'm going to do here is walk you through this template and show you how it works. My name is Adam Hooksema. I'm the co-founder of ProjectionHub, and we've helped thousands of entrepreneurs create financial projections for investors and lenders over the last decade. And I'm going to be walking through this template, which we've linked to in the description of the video below. So if you want to grab the template, you can go to that link there and grab that. So let's dive in. So the first thing I want to show you here is the at a glance tab. So we're really starting with the end in mind here. This is what you're going to get after we finish creating your projections. You've got a profit and loss at a glance chart here. You have some different key data points like alcohol sales, average spend per customer on alcohol and food sales, takeout orders. You have some different graphs, startup costs, a break-even analysis, and a number of different tables. Now, we also have our 5-year income statement, 5-year cash flow statement, and 5-year balance sheet. So these are all projected income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet. And we have also the income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet by month. So if you need the monthly detail, we've got that provided here as well. So that's what you're going to get when you're done with the process, but we have a little work to do to get there first. And so that's what I'm going to walk you through. And so if we go back here to our input assumptions tab. Now, the first thing I want to let you know is that any cell that's highlighted in light blue is an assumption cell that you can change the data in there without breaking the template. So you can, put in your name of your bar, the month and year that you want the projections to start, any personal investment that you're going to put in, or you could add other investors if you have other investors lined up and the value that they're planning to invest. When we look down here at the fixed assets section, here's where you'd enter in if you're buying the building for the restaurant or bar, and you could actually put that the building itself as an asset here. Or if you are leasing the space, but maybe you're doing a bunch of leasehold improvements, renovations to the space, you can put that here under leasehold improvements. And so we've got 150,000 here listed. So we're kind of doing a full renovation, let's say, and we're going to be buying $80,000 worth of equipment and furniture for the bar. And then we've also got $15,000 set up for signage. So these are just some assumptions. Of course, depends on, where you're starting this business and the size and scope of that. So these values could change dramatically. You could probably spend a lot more than this. You could probably spend a whole lot less than this as well. And so you'll need to do your own research for these different categories and fill in these assumptions. Now we're projecting a $250,000 SBA loan with an interest rate of 8% and a term of 120 months or 10 years. Now we'll jump over to the input revenue tab, and I'm going to expand this a little bit so you can see. So we start by putting in the number of seats in the bar here. So we're saying we've got 80 seats in the bar, and we're open 6 days a week. Average daily hours of open for 12 hours a day. And then our average party size is 1.5. So, maybe you've got a lot of individuals just coming to the bar, but, you also have some groups, small groups as well. And, again, these are assumptions that you can change based on what you expect in your particular situation. You have your average visit length in minutes. So you put in a 90-minute average visit, and then that's going to help us figure out what the capacity is. So the total potential customers per month with 80 seats in the bar spending 90 minutes is 16,686. So now we're going to fill out what percentage of the capacity do we think will be filled each month. You're saying, well, we're probably not going to actually have 16,000 customers every month. We're not going to be at full capacity all the time that we're open, right? All 12 hours. So we're gonna reduce that. Let's say maybe there's a few hours of the day where you are at capacity, but many of the other hours that you're open, you're most likely not, right? So you can put in a percentage of capacity filled that you expect, and a growth rate for that. And that'll give you your, based on those numbers, we're going to be able to see how many customers per day and per hour are expected. Now you can put in different food items here, so appetizers or drinks, and then also down here now we'll have the alcohol sales, so you can put in different alcohol types of alcohol sales, the average price point. Here you're going to put in what is your cost, the cost for you. So we're saying here it's like if the average price of a beer is $6, it costs you 60 cents is what we have in here right now. And then here we say the average person, the average customer that comes in, how many of each of these things are they going to buy? So on average, we're saying the average customer is going to buy 1.25 beers, 0.5 wine glasses or wine drinks, and 0.5 cocktails. So the reality is that, maybe what will actually happen is that the average customer, one customer might come in and get 2 beers, not 1.25, and 0 wine or 0 cocktails. Another customer might come in and get 1 or 2 glasses of wine or cocktails, right? So this is just a way to try to kind of break down that average of what's most popular across all of your customer base. So once you enter in that, we're going to be able to see what our projected food revenue and our alcohol revenue is per month. We also have the ability for you to add in takeout. So if you offer takeout food or takeout orders, you can fill this table out here. Now, ultimately, we're going to be able to see our total revenue and our total cost of goods sold for food and alcohol. Now we'll jump over to our direct costs here, and we'll see that you can put in, servers and bartenders and kitchen staff and other employees, and you can build in some assumptions like how many hours will you be open, but also how many extra hours do you need staffing for beyond when you're open. So like, maybe someone's got to come an hour and a half before the bar opens to get everything ready, and maybe someone has to stay 30 minutes after closing or an hour after closing to close up the bar. So you have these extra hours each week. And you can put in the wages and so forth, and that will help you calculate your wages for the different staff. We'll jump into this other expense category here. You can see, you'll be able to add advertising expenses, accounting, transaction fees. So here's one thing I wanted to point out. When you'll notice these drop downs. So you can pick whether an expense is a fixed dollar amount or a percentage of revenue. And so we're going to say that we have transaction fees, and why don't we make this 3%? Let's say our credit card transaction fees is equivalent to 3% of total revenue. And so you can put that in as 0.03 is the same as 3%. So you'll want to enter it in that way. And then this will automatically calculate, just an expense line item that's 3% for your transaction fees. You can do that with you can add in other fixed expenses, and you have all this space down here to add in other expenses as you do research on what your specific bar is going to need in terms of those operating expenses. And then finally, you can add in salaried positions. So we already added in the direct service staff, so the servers and bartenders and cooks and that sort of thing, but you may also have a manager or supervisor, and you can add in those individual salaried positions here. You can also add in what month they're going to start. So if you say, well, maybe as the bar grows, we're going to add a supervisor later, and so not until month 19 do we add that position. So now that really brings us full circle back to our at a glance tab, and you can see that based on all the numbers that we entered in and all those assumptions, that we're assuming $820,000 in annual revenue with a $85,000 EBITDA or $36,000 net income in the first year. And you can kind of see how we grow up to that $1.5 million revenue with a $200,000 net income. Now, again, you got to fill out your own assumptions. You may not have 80 seats in your bar. You may not be as full. You may not. So, you want to do your own research and make sure that these are numbers that work for your specific scenario. But I've walked you through how to enter those in after you've done the research. And if you have any questions as you're going through doing that research, leave us a comment down in the YouTube video comment section and ask some specific questions. We'd be happy to answer those for you. And best of luck as you open your bar. Thanks.